أردت أن ألفت بانتباهي إلى مجموعة النقاش. سامي حراني وهو مؤسسة شبابية اسمها قيادات الغد. من بين الأمور التي كان لديها أثر على الربيع العربي هو انتشار وسائل التواصل الاجتماعي ودورها. ما هو أكثر منه هو فتح المجال للنقاش والسؤال: هل هناك دور للشباب في وسائل التواصل الاجتماعي لجعل الحكومة مساءلة ليس فقط
It's not about money. It's definitely not about money. Well, I just want to go back to the cycle of the report which connects citizens' engagement and then also the performance and going through accountability. And just like, I want to tackle it from a different perspective. What does it mean for a citizen to be engaged? If I want to go to a street in Egypt or in Jordan and ask people, I want you to be more engaged, I want your feedback, what would they say? And why would they say it? They will say, why do you want my feedback? What is the reason? And the reason or the incentive, the motivation for people at the grassroots, it's going to be impact, it's going to be results, it's going to be performance. I mean, according to your survey on Facebook, people just looked at the performance side. They didn't mention trust, they didn't mention accountability, they didn't mention all these fancy wordings and terminologies. What they want is tangible results. They want to see the impact. And now, I mean, it is the time to think about how you can engage citizens and how you can engage the grassroots in a creative way and have performance at the end or have results and going through accountability. And here I would like to maybe highlight some ideas. One of the ideas is what we did in Jordan was putting white flip chart papers in the streets and asking just people in public spaces, what do you think about certain services? Or what do you think about employment? Or what do you think of municipalities' service provision? And giving an ordinary citizen a marker and ask him to write their opinion. And what you will be shocked that people will be very, very encouraged to do it. And at the same time, and here where the accountability part comes, people are tweeting all these comments that's happening in the public spaces and targeting decision makers and officials. So you will find, like, if the theme on employment or on women, you will see all the human rights activists on women, or you will see decision makers that's related on women, bombarded with all these comments that comes from the grassroots. For us to see like a street cleaner who was just like passing by, first of all, just looking at these white papers and just, what is this? Second time, third time, second time, like he gets more curious, asking questions. Third time, getting engaged and start writing, this is success. And this is when you start entering or breaking this vicious cycle from the point of engagement that leads to accountability. One of the most important things is that, and I think it's also one of the incentives for young people or even ordinary citizens in general, is hope. People are still hopeful with all what's going on in the region and with all what happened in the region. Because of hope, there's still people living in the MENA countries. Because, you know, this region had been exposed to so much that without hope, without some kind of strength among the ordinary citizens in the grassroots in the region, they would not have made it. So what I really call for is we need to revolutionize the methodologies. We need to think of social innovation as an entry point that connects engagement to performance and going through accountability. I think it is the time to, maybe we always say in development, you know, don't give a fish, teach people how to fish, but I think we need to revolutionize the whole fishing industry. Maybe we don't need to teach people how to fish. Maybe it's just a whole totally thing to do it. And here I think we have, going back to and connecting that to social media, it's very important. We have a lot of tools that can be utilized, whether through mobile apps, and it's becoming more common, and it's becoming even more accessible for people. So changing the methodologies and thinking of different tools, going out of like seminars, recommendations, policies, and think of more innovative grassroots tools can definitely change the whole dynamics. One of the things we have done is introducing a new culture of public debates. We said we're just going to have decision makers and ordinary citizens in the street, in a public space, being questioned and being grilled by just ordinary citizens. So basically discussing elections or discussing service provision, you would find the mayor of the city being questioned and being criticized by ordinary citizens. This drive is what's going to drive to performance. The problem will be in performance. And how would you pressure officials and decision makers to do it? It is through public engagement. How would you convince people that they need to be engaged more? Is through creative engagement, through building more hope, giving them more incentives, and let them see some performance. And that's something that I think the report had highlighted with all these success stories, but also donor agencies, NGOs, public activists, they need to think in a different way.